Warning. This podcast contains spoilers.
Third World Cinema Club.
Okay, welcome to Third World Cinema Club. I'm John Tawasil from Present Confusion.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm Jimmy pala, diba pa?
Hi, this is Sess of Film Police Reviews.
Taga saan ka ba? Sinigang ka ba, sis? Taga sinigang ka. Ha?
Wala ka lang.
Siniliwanag ka na ba?
And guys, first time namin after 3 years, no? Lockdown. Ito, on-site na face-to-face na nag-record ka.
Yun nga.
Miss it so much.
First face-to-face recording since 2020, no? February 2020 yung huli namin record. So, so you might hear you might hear some weird noises and ambient sounds lang.
Yes. Welcome back to the real world.
So anyway, we for this special occasion, we got into previous screenings for 2 films that will be featured in Q Cinema. The first one is Corsage. It's a 2022 film by Marie Kreutzer. Tama ba sabi ko? Ayan. Mag-mask kayo palagi, guys. Charot. So, it stars Vicky Krieps, Florian Teichmeister, and others. So, it's a fictionalized account of the life of Empress Elizabeth of Austria during the 1880s or 1870s. As she struggles, she struggles with balancing her life and the demands of being the Empress of Austria. So, sige, yung nakapanood nito kaming dalawa ni Jim. And, ang masasabi, if you notice in the film, there are, yung pagka-shoot niya, Empress Elizabeth spends a lot of her time inside closed spaces, parang in hallways, parang very oppressive spaces. May isang shot pa nga doon na parang nakatayo siya sa isang room pero her head is parang hitting the ceiling.
Yes.
So it's very confining, kumbaga. And
Parang claustrophobic yun.
yeah, very claustrophobic yung framing, and there are like windows or entryways that offer temporary relief, but it's not enough, no? And makikita mo na she's not supposed to be born in this time. Para may ganong feeling, she was born out of time, na she's very liberated, she feels very liberated, she's very inquisitive. She has an interest in technology. She loves her husband, but he's not giving enough attention to her, both physically and emotionally. And parang she's tired of the decor and what is demanded of her as the Empress. So, yun nga. She acts out in different ways. And a little bit of a spoiler, pero yung framing ng final scene na slightly anachronistic, slightly parang it's her in the present time, tapos there's a view of the sea, so it's very wide, very open, no? Parang signifying parang the freedom that she always dreamed of pero never got in real life. Excellent performances from the lead actress. And yun, ganda. Parang parang it's like the irony, no? Parang she's supposed to live this parang may romanticized life, yung life na parang nakikita natin yung period films na parang wow, garbo-garbo, ganyan, parang maraming people are at your beck and call, but parang this deconstructs it. It deconstructs the conventions of a period film to show na these people's lives are miserable, maybe even more so, kasi they're not afforded the freedom that they should have, because they're a woman, because that this is their place in society, there are expectations placed upon them. How about you, Jim?
Ako, from the very opening pa lang, or opening scene ng film, napansin ko na inaayos yung corset niya. So, parang doon pa lang, it already set the tone na yung character na ginagampanan ni Vicky Krieps, nasasakal siya or nasusuffocate na agad siya sa duty and responsibility ng pagiging Empress. And aside from that, all throughout the film, she's longing, she's asking for affection and attention, but it wasn't given much by her husband kasi meron ding royal duties.
Yeah, there's a parang remarkable sequence at the end, no? Where Vicky Krieps is dancing. Tapos makikita mo meron siyang mustache for some reason. To you, what does it kasi parang ina-encapsulate niya yung thesis ng pelikula eh. Pero for you, Jim, ano yung ano niya sa'yo?
Sa akin, kasi di ba nung una sumasayaw siya, it's a form of liberation. Diba? And then, suddenly, nakita natin on the next frame, meron na siyang mustache. So, nung may mustache na siya, ako lang naman, that's my opinion, na parang if I were a boy, kasi di ba, babae, tawag dito pa, limited lang yung kaya nilang gawin, especially when you're in a royal family. Marami siyang gustong gawin. Actually, even yung relationship niya with rider niya nga, di ba? Bigyan pa ng double meaning or malicious meaning yung affair or relationship nila, ganyan. Aside from that, even yung kanyang cousin, di ba? Kasi close siya doon dahil hindi yung asawa niya parang binumero lang yung pakikita nila, even yung up to the point na even the conjugal act, di ba? Bilang ganyan.
Yes.
Kasi may sexual need siya eh. Normal sa babae na there's sexual needs, di ba? Yun din ang pinapakita doon sa Corsage. And aside from that, ang gusto ko naman doon sa character din ni Vicky Krieps and doon sa performance niya na pinapakita niya na progressive siya. Kasi in the film, there's a period in history na ipinapakilala na yung moving pictures. Although at first, reluctant, di ba? And then suddenly, nung na-discover niya na ginawa siyang model, natuwa siya na parang yung painting niya, mapapalitan na ng moving pictures ang paintings. Yun ang sinabi niya.
Okay.
Yun yung ano niya.
And ano din parang may interesting scene doon na, yun nga, the first time that she was introduced to the film camera, parang tinanong niya, parang can it hear me talk? At sinabi nung guy, sorry, hindi. I wish it was. Pero parang she used that to parang it's like a moment of confession eh. May gusto siyang ilabas.
Yeah.
Na syempre hindi makikita ng iba, so parang sinigaw na lang niya. Kaya may mga scenes na parang sumisigaw siya silently. And yun nga, parang the whole film is her trying to communicate this frustration at not being able to do the things that she wants to do.
Yes. Saka kasi limited din yung technology noon eh. Yun yung pinapakita. So although ngayon siguro if given the chance na diba, nabuhay siya sa ganitong panahon, mas may power siya or mas may empower siya. However, during that time, hindi pa ganon ka-open ang tao when it comes to feminism, diba, or women empowerment.
Yeah.
Another thing na nagustuhan ko dun sa film, yung part na pupunta siya sa hospital, yung character ni Vicky Krieps. Specifically, mental hospital. Kasi somewhat relate siya, diba, na she's tawag din nung panahon kasi hindi siya masyado pang pinag-uusapan ng about mental health.
Especially for women, diba?
Especially for women. And ang maganda dun sa film, she was able to connect with the mental health or the mental hospital patient. Kaya di ba parang dun siya mas close kasi parang if she were given opportunity and more power, she would help beyond what she can do.
Ah.
Yun yung
And if you notice yung mga treatments nila for yung depression or yun nga losing a child, sinabi nga nung aide pa or nung doktor na to this person na she lost a child but too bad the other 3 children didn't give her solace, as if expecting her to just get over the death of her child. But it's still here, bereavement is a very mabigat pa rin yun. Mabigat yun ngayon. Pero parang binabaliwala lang nila yun and they think it could be solved with just a bath.
Yes.
And yun nga, nakikita mo kung ganong kakulang yung attention na binibigay. No? Not just to mental health in particular, pero yung concerns ng women at the time,
Yes.
parang they chalked it up to maybe hysteria or some sort of melancholy na easily solvable, but it's not there. So yun nga, you're correct na parang she feels affinity to these patients na she might as well be going insane herself.
No? Kasi may point pa nga sa eksena ng film na she attempted suicide, di ba?
Yeah,
Hindi pa rin siya napansin yung asawa niya. Actually, yung asawa niya, ayaw siyang
dinedma lang.
dinedma lang siya, di ba?
Yeah, exactly.
Buti na lang kama, nakasurvive siya nung nag-suicide siya, di ba? So, ayun. Kaya mayroon din part dun sa film na pinapakita niya. Even she loves her kids, she wasn't able to connect dun sa love na gusto niyang ibigay because it wasn't given much by her husband. Laging absent yung husband. Ganun naman pag mga sa royal family, pag napakapanood kayo ng mga royal or mga films about a kingdom, talagang pag may duty yung husband, talagang nasa-set aside na yung asawang babae.
Tsaka very traditionally minded yung asawa. Parang very set in his ways. Na yun nga, it leads to conflict between the two. Tsaka incompatibility na rin.
And noteworthy kasi nanalo diba si Vicky Krieps dito sa Cannes. But not for Best Actress. There's a special award that Vicky Krieps received in this film. Basta for her performance. And I believe she deserves it. Talagang binuhat niya talaga yung pelikula. And aside from that, siya ang EP, executive producer ng pelikula.
So yun, no? It's a film about constraints, physical spaces that constrain. The corset is also parang a motif of being, stuck in a place. Parang you're being forced to conform to something na hindi mo pa gusto. And yun, I actually enjoyed Corsage a lot.
Siya yung best performance prize for an actress. Pero hindi siya yung best actress.
Yes.
Parang Tapos, gusto ko rin pala siya sa old. So, nung note.
Si Vicky Krieps.
And sa Phantom Thread. Gusto pwede niyo siyang hanapin. Si Vicky Krieps. Ang galing siya doon. Siya yung nanay sa old. Tapos sa Phantom Thread, ang galing niya sinabayan niya si
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ayun. So, anyway, let's move on to the next film. The next film is a 2022 film as well, from Davy Chow. It's Return to Seoul. So, this is about a French woman, Freddie, who was adopted when she was a little girl, returning to South Korea to try to reconnect with her parents. So, she goes into this country with parang bara-bara lang, YOLO. Nag-YOLO siya to the country with very little expectations. She knows little about the culture, and it follows her over the course of like 8 years. As she, even when she says that she's not going back to Seoul, she always finds a reason to return. So, yeah. What are your thoughts, Ces?
So, I actually wanted to watch this. I was really expecting to see it on the big screen kasi very interesting to showcase Korean actors. Hindi siya parang K-drama setting na nag-iinlaban sila, ganyan. Parang dito, Park Ji-min is actually, she's a singer. I believe she's a singer known as Jamie. So I was really surprised by her performance, and at the same time, very catching na premise niya na she identifies as French, but she looks like a real native Korean. So there's a scene, spoiler alert, there's a scene in the film na they say na, oh, you look like a natural born Korean. Because right now, yung visuals ng Korean, what appeals to Korean audiences daw is parang pugis bigas, very high cheekbones, ganyan. Pero the actual Korean look was Park Jimin's na parang normal lang yung nose niya, medyo wide ng konti, but not too big, ganyan. Tas, yung meron siyang parang pabilog nga ng konti yung face niya, parang gano'n. Pero basically, I like how the film was trying to put us into that confusion of just like how we feel when we watch film movies. Na parang, ano ba to? Pinoy? American? Ano ba to? For French? Korean? Parang gano'n. And I'm used to like watching Korean Americans, but it's the first time I've seen a French Korean woman trying to find her identity. Tapos yun nga, may pagka-YOLO siya no konti sa una. Hindi ko siya masyadong natapos. But kasi parang sa akin, okay na yung point na I got the point midway na okay, paano ba to mag-end? Parang paano ba niya iintindihin sa sarili niya? Parang ang hirap lagyan ng end point nung issue nung film kasi parang it's mundane in a sense na hindi mo alam kung parang okay, I think this point of view is from a French person's point of view, which is a filmmaker. Pero paano naman kung kunyari Korean talaga siya na alam mo yun, parang naghahanap siya ng sarili niyang identity or growth, and I think that's where the film hits it beautifully. Pero at the same time, parang pinahaba niya pa. It could have been okay at around 1 hour and 30 minutes. Parang sa akin may scenes na hindi talaga siya important. Spoiler alert, yung parang sumasayo siya ng weird. Ganun. Hindi, parang pwede na siguro kung di mo siya sinama. Kasi parang gets na namin na from the point of view, for me pa lang, gets ko na siya ng part na palang na she was trying to avoid everyone. And then at the same time, you would feel empathic din na she's trying to understand her culture and the other culture that she's not familiar with. And that she's been thrown into that situation ng hindi naman niya ginusto. So yun lang yung maganda dun for me. Overall, it was okay.
This is a very. I had a bit of trouble connecting to the film at first, no? Kasi very erratic yung behavior ni Freddy, no? Pero I think that's parang it's kind of the point. Yeah. It goes in cycles eh. Every time she interacts with her parents or begins to try to interact with her parents, parang there's a feeling of lashing out then or parang self-destructiveness. She turns back to alcohol, to drugs, to partying, there's a point where when she's going to meet her father for the first time, her bio dad, she tells the bus driver to turn the bus around and go back to Seoul. And yun nga eh, there's a bit of parang nervous uncertainty in her that drives a lot of the film. And it influences then her relationships with men. When she's interacting with this guy that she met at a Tinder date who happens to be a weapons dealer. And then there's this tattoo artist.
Yes.
And then there's this other guy.
French, yun, diba?
Yeah. And ano eh, yun nga, it's she to go into her shoes, she spent her life trying to create an identity for herself because she doesn't look French, quote unquote look French. She's not the usual, but she grew up there. She absorbed the culture. South Korea is completely alien to her, as you can see in the first scene. She doesn't like know the culture, and she doesn't care. And from that first scene, you know that she's not there to get into a tearful reunion with her parents, but something deep inside her wants to reconnect in some way or another. And even if after all of those interactions, she wants to, you know, she tells everyone that she doesn't want to go back again. This is the last time I'll be here in South Korea. She always keeps going back. Like, you know, it's magnetic. She needs something from this place, but she can't articulate what. And ayun nga eh, it's a very interesting character study. Although, yeah, I still have a lot of I have a lot of questions. Do I like it? I guess it's okay, you know, but it's a kind of film that you need to reabsorb, you know, over time. At least for me. And the performance by Park Ji-min. She's a first-time actress at Actors. I don't know her background at all. It's very interesting. It's one of the more interesting performances I've seen this year. And parang maguguluhan ka sa kanya, parang ano ba talaga gusto mo, ate? Parang, do you really want to meet with your dad? She doesn't want to meet her dad, but suddenly, okay, let's meet with your dad or your mom. Ayun eh. And there's some choices in the film that I'm not really on board. It makes it some parts that feel stagey, you know.
Yeah.
But there was this one moment near the end when Freddy meets someone, and that someone is just the focal length is just enough that you can only see Freddy's face but not the other person, and you know, it's left in such ambiguity. I like that yung parang visual ano na yan.
Naka-defocus si Mark.
Ayun, ako, your mileage may vary here. You might like it, you might not like it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Pero I think it has a terrific performance, and you know, this is one of those I think I'll watch it again kind of movies. Pero ikaw Jim, what did you think about
I like it. Maybe because kagagaling ko ng inner child retreat. So I was able to somewhat, hindi ko man naranasan yung naranasan ng main character, but I was able to understand what they're going through. So first, ang maganda with the film, nag-set na agad siya ng tone na it's about identity, yung theme ng film. Diba? And since na-absorb na niya ang European culture, which is ang European culture mas liberated with the Asian, she didn't want to adapt with the Asian culture. Although later on, makikita naman natin with the film na even now, ang South Korea, nasa na siya, point na siya ng secularism, kasi ang South Korea is more of a Christian nation. Kaya nung reunion, diba, with her father, pinag-prepare siya ng lola niya, if napansin nyo, diba? And then, bigla kong naalala si Bong Joon-ho while watching this about language, diba, yung language barrier, diba, about sa subtitling, gano'n. So, dito naman, ang nakita ko was that, because, diba, it felt weird na, Korean siya, yung face niya, but even yung ibang actors, but they're speaking French, no?
There's a nice scene nito, Jim, nung nasa car siya with her father and yung friend ni Freddy na translator. So, parang Freddy's talking, pero you hear the voice of the translator talking to her father, and her father is framed na nasa mirror lang siya. So, parang it communicates an indirect way of communication.
Yeah.
And yun nga, hindi naman literal na 100% yung translation ng mga quote-unquote translators ni Freddy.
Actually, may awkward moment nga. So,
yeah.
And it's funny. Diba yung pag tinatranslate. Kasi nag-iiba na ng interpretation. Parang minsan harsh kasi di ba yung pagkakasabi ni Fred.
Pero parang hinehedge yung
tinapong
yeah, exactly. And yun cultural, a lot of identity and crossing those identities is reflected in communication.
Yes.
or the lack thereof. No?
Correct.
Saka ang nagustuhan ko dito kasi since she's adopted, di ba, by a French family, iko-connect ko na siya with the inner child retreat na na-attended ko. Kaya ganun yung reaction niya or respond niya na nag-veer away siya, nagda-dash out siya, di ba?
Yes.
Minamimit na niya yung father niya because she felt the neglect and abandonment of her parents. Kaso kasi nagkaroon ng circumstances merong problem, kaya yun ang nangyari, and her parents believe, di ba, na yun yung best way. Kaso syempre, di ba, as a child longing for real parents or the biological parents, di ba, at first in denial siya doon, di ba? Kaya parang doon din nga siya sa stage ng grief na in denial, acceptance, anger, may ganun siyang may ganung stage siya kung makikita mo. Kaya nagugustuhan ko kasi ang gandang character study ng film na ito. Nga lang talaga, this film, hindi siya na parang magiging divisive siya. Mayroong mga taong magugustuhan ito, may mga taong hindi magugustuhan ito. Especially yung the way that the main character responded with each situation na pinapakita sa panahon kasi ang nakakaloka rin dito sa pelikulang to, after 2 years, after 5 years, ang bilan nang nangyayari. Ganun, medyo siya dun sa part.
Yeah, I wish din Jim na parang it
Could have been shorter as in, parang, sorry, sige tapos na.
Parang I wish it could have showed more of what happened to her in the intervening time. I think there were only 1 or 2, yung kunyari sa restaurant. That one showed the most character growth and to be fair, na-communicate naman yun. Pero for the other scenes, parang hindi masyado. Parang iba-iba yung it defies convention. It parang it goes out of its way to parang subvert yung your expectation of what a quote-unquote reunion movie would be with adopted child and her parents. Parang hindi ganito yung usually nangyayari.
Kasi parang yung character development niya kasi parang nung una yung liberated siya and then nagpapakita na siya ng anger and then towards the end of the film medyo kumakalma na siya. Parang medyo nakukulangan lang ako nakukulangan ako dun sa part na paano siya kumalma, ano yung nangyari behind it, di ba? Bakit parang biglang tumindi yung anger, ganun yung, medyo parang yun yung lacking lang dun sa film.
Parang kung 27 na siya nung after 2 years, so 25 siya nung first part. So, ibig sabihin, first 24, 5 years of her life, kalmado lang siyang tao or chill lang siyang tao. Parang, parang dapat hindi doon nag-focus yung kwento niya na okay, she's confused, so we're gonna show these confusion moments. Parang siguro maganda, kasi nakita ko yung interview niya na hindi nga siya talagang based on his personal story. Parang it's a story of his friend. And then siya din, Cambodian actor din siya, French-Cambodian director siya. So, siguro, he understood din. Which I think that's why, isa part ng communication, yung pagka-translate. Like, kahit nga English to Korean, ang galing nung pagkaka-depict nun Shout out kay Nanay from Reply 1988. Siya yung nanay sa Reply 1988. Tapos, parang ang galing nung, di ba parang, yung tone ni girl, galit siya, tinanslate niya ng mabait. Except for the harsh part, na parang, ayaw na tutumira sa'yo. Ganun, di ba? Parang, kinonvey na niya yung totoong part na yun. So, actually for me, maganda rin yung scenes nung sa Tatwe, yung interaction niya with his dad's family. Nakita mo yung awkward siya. Tapos parang may isang scene doon, spoiler alert, parang kinukumpara niya yung picture, dun sa picture, akala niya yung kasambahay yung nanay niya. Pansin niyo ba?
Actually, hindi niya nanay yun.
Hindi.
Asawa nung tatay niya.
Ayun nga, parang sabi niya nga, tinignan niya kasi, tapos pinalabas niya yung picture. Eto ba yung mama ko? Sabi niya gano'n. Tapos sabi niya, hindi, nurse yan. Hindi, yan.
Kapatid pala yung sorry. Tama ba?
Hindi.
Tita niya yung
tita
translator.
Oo, yung translator. Ibig ko sabihin, di ba nagliligpit yung bagong mommy niya, yung stepmom niya. Tinitignan niya mabuti. Tapos, titignan niya yung picture. Parang sabi niya, mama ko ba to?
Yeah.
Sabi niya, hindi yan yung nurse sa bahay ampunan. Parang gano'n. So parang alam mo yun, parang kahit siya, sabi niya, gusto na sa nanay. Parang, pag napansin mo, may parts doon na hinahanap niya rin yung nanay niya. Kasi okay na yung part ng puzzle niyang yun. Parang gano'n na. Okay, dito may tatay ko. Okay, mama ko naman nasaan. Parang gano'n. Yun. So yun, for me, it would have been shorter kung maliban dun sa personality niya, yung focus. Pati rin actual na parang, okay, so yun lang pala interaction ng nanay niya. Okay, so what happens next? Destruction na po ang buhay mo or what? Parang gano'n. Pero ako, in fairness mo, i-comment ko rin yung film. Kasi lately, may napanood akong dalawang films nga. Which is yung una yung kay Jokoy. Tapos yung isa naman yung sa sa Basco Brothers. Pangit siya parehas, in a way.
Sabi nga nila, hindi ko rin napanood.
Pero yung kay Basco kasi, parang ako, yan naman. Kasi confused talaga sila. Parang they don't know what identity they have. Kaya parang siya, lagi yung dinidepict na ganun yung day-to-day life nila. Parang one day, they're at ghetto. Next day, nagtatry sila ng lumpia. Parang ganun. So, yun. So, parang, for me, una, maganda yung performance ni Jimin. Hindi pala siya yung singer na Jamie. Ano pala siya, visual artist pala siya in real life. Tapos, at the same time, yun, okay sa akin yung ibang scenes at depict yung what happens when yung reunion that you planned in your head doesn't go out the way it's planned out, parang ganun. So yun. Tsaka parang masakit na talaga siya kung, alam mo yun, parang deep-seated issue yun ng abandoned children, you know?
Yun ang ano talaga, yun ang main na issue niya is the neglect and abandonment and hindi siya na-address properly. Kaya ganun yung respond niya. Tapos, yung relationship niya with different men, it's also a reflection na yung meron siyang father issue. Yun yung makikita. Kaya diba yung una niyang nakilala ay, or yung una niyang minute, diba, through a dating app ay older na lalaki. Ganun. Tapos, isa diba parang tattoo artist ba or something.
Yeah.
French. Tapos nakakaloka yung sinabi niya dun sa French na boyfriend niya, si Maxime, na I can just easily, wipe you out of my life with the snap of my finger. Kasi ang nangyayari parang because nasaktan siya, yun na yung way niya to respond, na parang bago mo ko uunahan na kita.
Yun lang. Alam mo, the more that I think about it, the more that I appreciate what happened. Yun, parang I guess it needed, parang mas okay na upo. Oo, kailangan upuan mo siya.
Upuan mo talaga siya kasi it's a character study film. Maganda siyang character.
In fairness, di ako nakatulog. Hindi ako masyado in-talk. Medyo na-bore lang sa ibang parts. Pero okay naman siya. Parang very psychological yung issues.
Actually, both films, if you will observe, mayroong mental health issue na din i-discuss.
Gusto kong mapanood si Corsage dahil sa sinabi niyo nga.
Yun nga they're both about women wanting to be somewhat free of something in one way or another.
Parang actually both films discussed identity. Actually.
Yeah. Ito talaga cross-cultural identity.
Yes.
Yung French and South Korean identity.
Pares pa silang multilingual kasi
Yung isa,
Austrian, French, and English.
Ito French, Korean, English.
Interesting. Those are that's just a little sample of the films that you'll be able to see at Q Cinema.
Excited din kami.
Yeah.
Para ibang films ng Q Cinema.
Hopefully, we'll be back to talk about some of the other films that we'll watch. And the festival runs 17 to 26.
26.
November 18 to 20.
17.
17 is the opening film. Yeah. 18 is the usual screening. So I think nilabas na nila yung schedules nila, so you can try planning. Hopefully makita niyo doon, bili kayo ticket if you have the money or the time. It's very important. If you don't, it's okay.
It's okay.
Kanya-kanyang pera, kanya-kanyang buhay.
Hindi na namin kayo guys. Kasi
Yeah, we completely understand.
Yeah.
Recession ngayon dahil sa, the world situation.
Sadly, let's face it, talaga nagmahal yung ticket. Actually, even Cinemalaya, sorry babanggit ko, nagmahal din naman.
Di ba?
Tapos, sa cinema, thank you dalawa yung mic. Cute. Para kay reporter. Yun nga sa Cinemalaya, hindi ako nanonood nun because mahirap mag-commute. As in, parang dahil sa pandemic and whatever, para sa mga normal na mamamayan, mahirap manood, which we understand. So, kung di man kayo makapanood because mahal yung ticket, okay na naman. Try namin i-review. Para kung saan nyo man pwede makuha. Diba? Hindi naman tayo sa mga against sa gano'n. Pero if you can, at malapit na kayo sa Cubao, diba?
And if you save money, please support you cinema, guys. Kasi ito na yung natitirang film festival here in the Philippines na talagang when they curate international film festivals ay bongga. Berlin, Cannes, Sundance, Venice, talaga.
Ayun. Hopefully masusulit naman yun. Ako, I'm anticipating like other than yung next wave, I'm anticipating a couple of films na matagal ko nang gustong panoorin. Pero yun. Good luck na kung kung Q Cinema Festival man or yung taga-Caribbean na festival.
Yung color green yung font.
Yung green yung font. Alam niyo na yon. If you know, you know.
Support sa kanyang Pepsi.
Oh yes! Sorry, di ako nakapagdala.
Tsaka please support din si John sa kanyang books.
Oh yes! Yes, kay John. Pag kunwari magdala kayo tayo, no? May sariling table.
Na walang paalam, nag-guerrilla.
Piratang bookseller.
Sino ba yung sa UP? May dala siya, naka-box na gano'n, mga pirated, sa tapat ng FI. Doon, matandang mama. Kilala mo, basta...
Kilala ko yung sa Books from Underground. Magkano kami dati. Magka-trivia contest ka.
May guerrilla store daw si Seth.
Parang contraband eh. Boss, gusto mo orange chicken, gusto mo tapsilog.
Tatakanan na kita.
May bag na Tapos parang naka-hoodie, nakatakp yung mukha.
Tapos si Miss Kelly Morgan. Parang kilala kita.
Ayun lang po. So, yun. See you at Q Cinema. We'll be, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be recording another episode about the movies there. Baka meron tayong special guests. Si Isabel Huper, charot.
Yes!
Isabel Huper.
Isabel Huper.
Bumalik ka. Matin ko ng Pilipino. Gusto ko kita makita.
Isabel Huper in Cubao. Novaliches QC, charot. So
guys, enjoy watching movies.
Enjoy movies wherever you may watch it.
Wear your mask pag nasa cinema.
Yes to Cine. Yun. YTS. Yes to Cine.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, guys, and bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.